Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Yorkshireman66. I am Carl Mark and I am your entertainment officer or whatever you want me to be. Now, I'm going to do a disclaimer. What I'm about to talk about, I am no expert on. I'm only talking about my own experiences and things like that and what's happened to me through through that experience and the route to my mental health problem, basically. It really gets and it builds a picture of how I am, of why I am like I am, basically. So, we're going to talk about domestic violence. I'm going to put a spotlight on domestic violence, and I think it's the right thing to do, especially with all this lockdown. I mean, how many people have been abused by the partner or even children? How many kids have been locked in with their abusers since all this lockdown started? What I mean? And domestic violence is on the rise as well. I mean, it's on the up and things like that. So that's what we're going to talk. But I'm going to talk about myself, my past, the way how I saw domestic violence and how I was told not to speak about it, basically. So here we go. Um, when I first saw domestic violence, I was 4 year old. 1970. I lived at Lupset, 16 Robin Hood Crescent in Wakefield. Lupset. I was going to Waterton Junior School, Waterton Road, and that, yeah, and what else? Well, I know what else I'm going to say, and you know, it happened through the day. My dad came home from work, started an argument. I don't know why, but he started, he started an argument. I don't think he liked what my mum said to him the day before or whatever, and he started an argument. And I was there. He did it in full sight of me, and he beat, he literally beat her up, my mother, and that left me, absolutely numb. My mum got out of the house, but didn't take me with her. I was left there, but he didn't do no. Well, he just sent me to my room basically. So I did, effing and blinding he was, and I thought, okay, someone will ring police, but no one ever did. My mum came back. She couldn't go to work because of bruises, so she had to ring in sick, things like that. You know what I mean? And I was only 4 at the time, so there you go. And it became a pretty normal routine. He'd do it all the time. I won't say all the time, but at least once or twice, once a month or once every 2 months, he'd lose his temper with her and things like that. And my mum, oh well, things would be different, And I got told when I got to school, don't talk about it. So I never did. I never explained, or I never talk about anything like that. It were only, it's only since I got into adulthood that I started talking about it. And my dad didn't like that neither when he was still alive. Because my dad said, well, it's not to do with anybody. And what my dad told me is, you get over it, shit happens and things like that, you know what I mean? And it's quite funny how he said things. I mean, obviously he's the abuser, and my mum was the victim, but also he didn't understand that I'm a victim as well. I'm seeing something what I shouldn't be seeing. I saw violence from a very early age, and then we moved down to 64 Regent Street, and it continued to happen there. He beat her up. He chucked her down cellar steps, and then he took me down cellar and told me and said, "Stand there. This is what you do to a woman when they don't agree." And he jumped on her body and broke her ribs, literally. He broke. I think he broke a couple of ribs on either side, and he half killed. He nearly half killed her basically, and cut my mum's hair and things like that. My mum had to go to hospital. My dad got arrested, but no charges were brought because my mum won't say anything against him basically. But what she did do, and what my dad didn't know, that my mum was seeing another man. somebody else. I didn't even know that. And luckily, he took her in, and me, and that one, he became my stepdad basically. Did Brian, and but I give him his due. He went to my dad and threatened him, and my dad says, "Well, you can't stop me from seeing my son." I says, "Yes, we can, especially if you hit him like you did with his mother, and if you do hit him, I'll personally make sure." He threatened him basically, and that was so. My mum had to move back into our, at this time in '70s, when you were going through a divorce, you had to live in the same house. You don't now, obviously the laws changed, but back then they had to stay. They didn't have to stay in the same bed or all like that, but separate rooms, but same house until the divorce were clear, and that's what she did. It just continued with mind games and everything and things like that. And then he turned, and then he started threatening me. Well, if you don't do as you're told, things like that. If he lost his lighter, he'd blame me for nicking it, and then I get, any excuse to give me a belt and things like that. But it just played me mad, and that was traumatic, to what I see. But they didn't understand PTSD back in the day. At that point, I mean, back in '70s, no one really talked about what happened behind closed doors. You know, what happens happens. As long as it's not on the street, people won't bother about it. Unlike today, I mean, it's a serious crime. I mean, it was a serious crime back then. But like I say, my mum left him and went with Brian, and somewhat normality. Yeah, my mum and my stepdad argued, but there were no fish thrown. There were no physical abuse at all like that. They just argued like a married couple would. You know what I mean? And obviously, I got into trouble because if I did anything wrong, yes, I was brought up strict. But my mum let Brian bring me up, and she did let him basically chastise me and punish me if I needed it. You know what I mean? Because she thought that was the best way to do it. Um, and she got a shock when because I had to have child psychologists and things like that through my life. But I got no means. I didn't get any support. I mean, social services weren't involved at that particular time. That was surprising, but there wasn't. Because I think it's because of my mum's actions, how she got out of there and took me with her. There was no choice. I had to go with her, and that was that. Simple as that. I didn't get a choice. I went with my mum, which I would have done in any case. I wouldn't have gone with it. I mean, even though I saw my dad over a weekend, but not all the time. It would like hit and miss, and my mum said, "Well, if you don't want to see him, he don't care," and he didn't at the time. But I mean, things were things, and younger. But the older I got, and I did get older, yeah. But they're only like two incidents. What I said. Can you imagine this over a 6 weeks period? And that's what he used to do with dad. He did it all the time. He literally did. My mum missed work and everything, but he did it. And then what shocked me is what was said in the solicitor's letter to my dad, and I read it, and it just says, my mother. I'm not going to tell you the proper, but my mum wouldn't have divorced him if he didn't cut her hair. And I got a shock. I thought, well, so if he hadn't cut her hair like he did, she wouldn't have left him. And I think, but I can understand it because you take your vows back then, and they meant it basically till death do you part. But if my mum hadn't got away from him, I think he'd have killed her, literally killed her. He had all the excuses in, well, she shouldn't have been doing this and she shouldn't have been doing that. Quick backhander, don't work. But he never give her a quick backhander or like that. My mum was a victim. He was laying in fists and everything. He wasn't swiping his hand. He was literally putting his full weight behind the fist. And he had, 22 stone behind him. And my mum were only 5 foot. 5 foot, nothing, it's 5 foot. He's 6 foot. think about it. It is terrible. But that happened over a set month, and I was told not to talk, and I never did. I never did talk about it. I think it was until I hit 10, 1976. And my dad happened to accuse my mum of turning me against him, and I came out and I battered him over the head with I think it was one of them yard brushes. I just battered him over the head. And police wanted to arrest me for it, and my mum says, no, no, no. Yeah, my son did it, but he has every reason to do it. And police says, so what's it? So he was going over the fence. And that was it. And he was halfway over, and that's why I hit him. And police took that, and then that, and then I got a caution. Don't do that again, sort of thing. And but my mum says, yeah, if he does it again, you know what I mean. And I told police. I says, my dad's saying that, you know, he's saying that my mother, my mum's turned me against him, and it's not that. He's done it himself, which he had at the time. And for a 10-year-old, I mean, I even said to Will, you know, she didn't leave him until I was 8. But the last time he attacked her, I said to her, we have to get out of here. It's going to go too far, and you're going to die. And she took that on board, or she must have done, because we were out of there. It's as simple as that. And like I say, eventually she married me stepdad. I was about 9 when that happened, 1975. So yeah, she married him, and he just turned around and says to me, I promise you, I won't hurt her. And I wanted to, and he never did. He never ever did. I mean, yeah, he chastised me and things like that. But, like I said, back then, they didn't know about PTSD or all that. And, you know what I mean, they only got to know about it mid-80s, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Really. Through mid-80s, you know, 80s and that. You know, they were beginning to piece it together. You know, traumatic stress syndrome, especially combat PTSD with combat soldiers and things like that. But I was told this when I had my car accident, but moving on from that, so I seen that as a child, and you know, I got married in '86. I was 20 when I got married, and but it didn't last long because she thought she could control me. I thought, well, I'm not having that. I'm my own person. I want to be my own person. I know I'm married. I know I've got that responsibility, but she didn't see it like that. She didn't see it my way. She just wanted to shag everyone in sight, basically. And when I pulled her up about it, she just hit me. You know, she began to beat me up, and I have brains, I suppose. I mean, my mates, especially one mate, saw bruises. And he says, "You know what to do." So I did. I rung police, but police thought it were me. She said, "Oh well, he's hitting me." And they took me to police there. I think, well, no, it's the other way around. I think I've got the bruises. Well, she was defending herself. She had me getting me done. You know what I mean? Through her. And I says, all right. You know, were there anybody else there? And I says, no, because she's very clever. You know what I mean? But luckily, there was one person who saw it. And but they didn't come forward quick enough. So she got, you know, so yeah, I mean, she was trying to get me done, trying to get me a criminal record for hitting a woman. Being and I says I won't do that. And police says, why won't you do it? I says, because my dad, I seen what happens with your domestic violence. I won't do that, and they didn't. I said, oh, okay. And I had to get solicitor and everything. Now it went straight to court, and even just chucked it out in the end. Says this is ridiculous. It's his wife what's done this to him. And they could tell. It wasn't self-defence or all like that. They knew. I mean, because she didn't have a mark on her, you see. And she did that for a 6-month period. And one of the mates pulled me out, got her out. We got, she'd gone out. We'd gone back in, chucked all the stuff out, which I did, out my dad's and that. And my dad says, Says he only had to let me know, Matt. And I did. I told him. I said I don't want her back in here. He says right, fair enough, but that will happen. But I had friends who helped me with that. I thought, thank God for that. Even Kevin was surprised, and that. But she came back, and my dad says, "Well, I'll let you in, but you get your stuff and go." Then she started an argument with me. Then she lunged at me twice with a screwdriver, flat end screwdriver, and stabbed me. So I pushed her away. And unfortunately, the window what we had, it opened wide enough. I pushed her and she fell straight out of it onto the garden. And I just pushed her. That's all I did to get her away. But police were involved, obviously. When police came and saw, oh God. So what happened? And I said, well, she's not there, is she? No, well, she's walked off down there. And she did. You know, it didn't kill her out like that. I thought it had put her, broke her leg or something, but no, it didn't break her bone. She even, because my dad says, oh, she's got, and she ran down, she went down straight. But what we didn't know is she went down straight to ring police. But police already came before she run. So I says, well, I don't know where she is. I says, she stabbed me, I pushed her, and she went through the window. I says, and that's it. Now that is on. And they says, well, we might have to charge you. I thought, oh God. I says, again? I says, what for now? I says, I haven't done anything. I pushed her to get her away. Self-defence. Luckily. You know what I mean? Yes, I've got a violent streak, and yes, I've got violence on my police record. But that's through, because I hit police officers. 18, 18 of them. Because a couple of bent officers came to my dad's and tried to search it without a search warrant, and I said no. And they just, door was already unlocked, and they just walked straight in, and I said, get out, and they says, well, you can't we can do what we want. So these police officers back then, I just had to go. I just hit them, I floored them, I literally hit them, 18 of them. And then it took a superintendent to come to the house and say, what's going on? And I told him, and my dad told him, we were doing nothing wrong. I says, they've got the wrong person, but they insist that I done so-and-so, and I haven't. I've done nothing. Okay, mate, we'll sort this out. And it did get sorted, and I got an apology, and I got compensation. And I got enough compensation to pay my debts off. So that's what I did. But yeah, so that's the explaining bit why I've got violence on my criminal record. But it's not through beating up women or all like that. But at the end of the day, I pushed her, and I did push her out a window, and I admit that to this day. But do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. She was trying to literally kill me. She even said to police, she wanted me dead, and that's what hung her. And she got done for that. So there you go. And as far as I know, she went down for it. As far as I know, but I don't know. I haven't seen her since. Thank God. I don't want to see her since. And then back in '92, it was 1990 when I met her. '91 I got married. In '91 I had my daughter. '92 I had a son. And I think it was back end of '92, '93. She started getting violent, did my ex-wife, my second ex-wife, and started beating me up. I thought, here we go again. But I had kids involved, so that were different. But I did get it out of my life in the end. At the expense of that, I don't. Well, I can't see my kids because they're in Australia. That's at that expense, sort of thing. That's evilness. You know what I mean? So at that expense, I do talk to my children. Talk to them now. They know the truth now of what really happened, and they do talk to me, and I do talk to them. But it's amazing. It's not just men. What women. It's women eating men as well. It's on both sides. But some men won't say no. I didn't want to say anything about it. But my second ex-wife got me beaten up. I mean, I went out. I was going back from being with friends and that, and I thought, wow, I'll take a shortcut. I wish I never did now, but I did. I took a shortcut over at Pugneys Water Park and on to Portobello. I didn't get to Portobello. I got to where you call it, where you go downhill, and I got there and where football, you got a football field, and I got dragged from there onto the football field, and I got the shit kicked out of me basically, um, literally, and I had no phone at the time, but luckily somebody did see it, and somebody rung an ambulance and got the police involved. But police says there's nothing they can do. It's a random attack. And I says, and I said to him, I says it's more than that. I says this is my ex-wife, second ex-wife who's done this. And I thought, all right, so there you go. So yeah, women can be evil, but I do understand, and I do know that not all women are the same. But when I go out on a date and things like and women want to know my past, I don't want to tell them because I know they're wrong. I know that through experience. Yeah, I mean they say, oh well, you've been hurt by a woman. I says, yeah, I've been hurt by two. I says, I've been abused by two women. I says, I'm not having it again. When I go into date, because they want to know. So I tell them. Next thing I know, oh well, it won't work. Yeah, because you don't want to know. Because you don't want a damaged person like me. You don't want to put up with my mental health or all like that. That's what that was. So basically, that's it. You know what I mean? And that was, first and second ex-wife who did that to me. And I've had it all the way through. And that. I did meet someone who was decent. Now, Sarah was decent. I mean, she was younger than me. And she did fancy me and that. And, she would listen to me and things like that. And she had a funny feeling that I'd been hurt. And I told her I'd been hurt in the past. Yes, of course I have. But she still wanted to be with me. But it just didn't work out. We did try to get back after me, in 2014 after the car accident. But again, it didn't work because of my injuries. I mean, I didn't want to saddle her, so it my fault that we broke up twice. That was my fault, unfortunately. But I didn't want to saddle her. You know what I mean? I didn't want to saddle her with all my emotional baggage, sort of thing. So, but I still talk to her. Now that is one woman who has never hurt me, and that's Sarah. And I met her through a friend of mine. But yeah, that's one woman who hasn't hurt me, and that is one woman who will talk to me, and she still does this day. Even if I bumped it straight, she'd say hello. Yeah, I mean, but do I regret not trying to make it work? Yeah, of course I do. That's the only regret I have by it because I lost her. Still single, still wanting to get into a relationship, but now I do want to get into a relationship because all the emotional baggage what I've got has been hopefully laid to rest. Yes, I've still got my mental health problems, I've still got my PTSD, I've still got the anxiety, still got the personality disorder. Unfortunately, that is full blown. That will never be changed or out like that. And people say, well, are you on drugs? No, I don't take any tablets for my PTSD or my anxiety because my doctors don't want me to be on tablets because, quite truthfully, the tablets what they give you can turn you chemically into a zombie. It might make things look alright, but it's not. So what I do, I have to go through it, and it comes in waves. It really does. And don't forget, I suffer with depression from my past childhood as well, and it comes in waves. It really, excuse me. It comes in, wave after wave. I mean, I had an attack very recently. I mean, I was talking to Lauren in private chat, and she says, are you okay? I said, well, I'm feeling a bit better, but no, not really, because I've had all that. I told her, how I was feeling and that, and she says, so it's your depression and your PTSD and anxiety all rolled into one. She went, yeah. I went, yeah. She went, oh boy. I said, no. And it were all that rolled into one. It don't normally happen like that. It's normally my PTSD. It's died down. I know I'm safe and things. Like, this is why I do this. All I'm reassuring myself, and I do it all the time. Yeah, you may have seen it on some videos, you may not, but I do it. Even I'm just doing that. It's just to reassure myself that I'm safe. That's PTSD traits. The anxiety traits is going out there. It's not as bad. Got one side of my brain saying, "Oh well, yeah, go out, man, get some fresh air. You'll be alright." And I've got another side of the brain. No, it's dangerous. People might get you. That's where paranoia comes in and personality disorder. So I've got all that, really, really bad. And I can understand why women don't want to have anything to do with me, really. I mean, one day I might find someone, may not, but that would be a big regret if I couldn't really, really be with somebody who I wanted to be with. I think that would be the biggest regret of all. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's as simple as that. And I tell all women, I say, all what I want is a relationship, and that's it. I don't want no bullshit in between. But yeah, I mean, and oh yeah, some women have talked to me, but they say, oh no, well you're not my type. And I thought, well, what type am I? I says, yeah, I said you can't put people into types. I said you can't pigeonhole them. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. So when they find out more about me, they think, oh, I made a mistake. Off I go, and they don't tell you. But that's what's happened to me. I mean, I went on a bit of a date about a month back, and she never turned up. She said she would, but she never did. Yeah, so I won't be talking to that person ever again, and I don't. She's not even. I don't think she's on Facebook now. Well, that's what it's like at the moment because she wanted to get to know me, but she didn't like the idea of me being what I am. Mentally damaged, and it's not my fault. See, mental health or domestic violence, it's you're the victim, they the aggressor. It's not your fault. But believe you me, the aggressor can play the victim card as well. And my first ex-wife did that. She played it and tried to turn it around onto me, saying it was me beating her. And then police clicked on when they saw me. Police clicked on, and then because they took a picture of her, they said, "Is that your ex-wife?" I says, "Yeah." And police says, "Well, she's saying." I says, "Well, think about it. No bruises." So they knew she was lying. So all charges were dropped with me, basically. And then people say, "Oh well, it'd be in papers." No, it won't. Yeah, I will never go to papers. No, it's not in papers. Never ever. Yeah, I mean, no, no. It's not in the papers. That stays with me. It's private. It's that. It's what I choose to let people know about. And some, you know, you know, some people want to know why my kids are in Australia. Well, I'll tell them why. But they don't believe it. They think there's something more sinister, and there isn't. Yeah, it's not my fault. She off him. You know what I mean? Well, that's what happened. And I'll tell you now, they don't even need an husband to sign passport. Just that's it. I couldn't stop them. But my children do know the full truth about it. I mean, they've read. I sent to Australia to their address all my solicitor, big pile like that of my divorce papers and why we were getting divorced and things like that, and what we're going through, big papers like that, and I sent them, and they know the truth. I says your mum's got the same, and when they asked about it, because she has got the same file, yeah, not anymore. She got rid of it. She burnt it. No evidence. And then she recently tried telling them, well, he's lying. My son being my son, he is a solicitor. Well, he's a barrister, solicitor come barrister. Says he can't be lying. Says well, because this is not from him. This is from a solicitor. So they know, and they talk to him. They choose to talk to me, and they choose to let me know about my grandkids and things like that, which I've got war for them. But my son's got two, my daughter's got two, but there's another there's another one on the way, and my son's having another kid. So my life there is it's there. You know what I mean? But through all this COVID nonsense, which it is, isn't it? Come on. Through COVID and lockdown, how many domestic violence is on the rise? So this is why I said what I said. And if you do want, and if you are immoral, if you are in danger, you should ring the police. The police can help you. I mean, don't believe, I mean, police will help. It's as simple as that. I don't know what kind of help they'll give you. Or if you want to talk to Samaritans, which is 116 123, then you go talk to them. Or if you're a child and you're watching this, helpline. Go to helpline. They can help you as well. In helpline. Childline, isn't it? Yeah, one-to-one council child line, which is 0800 1111. Talk to a council online, child line. And that's everything what you need to know about them. So like I say, you can call Samaritans 116 123 Samaritans, or you can, a child line is 0800 1 1 1 1 1. It's 4 ones, 0800 4 ones, basically. Yeah, but you got to think it is on the rise. Is domestic violence. I mean, so is child abuse. I mean, can you? I mean, I can't imagine anyone being locked in with anyone who's abusing them. You know what I mean? But people, people like me and my mum think automatically, what have we done wrong? It's not until a counsellor got hold of me and says, you've done nothing wrong. Says, you're an innocent victim. Your mum's an innocent victim. It's the problem is with your father. And it was, but he won't go for counselling. He said, no. He was very surprised because when his mother, my grandma, got to find out about it, she didn't like it. And she told him, because he went, and she told him, she said, you deserve everything what you get from now on. You can't say that, but she did. I mean, my grandma was very, very authoritative, even when she was old. When she died in 1980, but she was telling them this in 78. You know what I mean? A very old woman, but a very, very strong-minded woman, and she didn't, she told him straight she didn't have to tear the strip off him, and that was it. So, and after that, they never talked, and then she died, funeral, and then, I mean, none of that. My dad's brothers don't talk to me since my dad's died and things like that, because they can't understand why I cared for him, even though he did all that. I never, I did, I became his carer. Well, no one else was going to do it. I did it, and the only reason why I did it is because it's a permanent reminder. I mean, I just told him, I says, less mouthing off at other people and more of you thinking what you've done over years. Well, I did no wrong, and he said that to his dying day. Oh, I did no wrong. I did everything what I was supposed to do. You just couldn't get through to this thick man. You know what I mean? You just couldn't. And people said, well, yeah, but you care for him. So I said, yeah, permanent reminder. You know what I mean? And things like that. And, he never once apologised for it. You know what I mean? He wanted me to forgive him, but I said no. And I said that on his dying deathbed. And I don't regret it. I just said, no, I'm not going to forgive you. You've been in hell. And then I went away. I got a phone call 2 hours later saying that he was dead. And he did die. And then my sister started on me, because I had to ring my sister. I rung my sister. I says, because they didn't have her number, so I rung her and I says, well, are you sat down? She goes, yeah, why? I goes, 2 hours ago, your father died, and that was it. And she says, oh, you murdered him. She even had police come round to the house. And I think, oh, I've done no wrong. And my mate were there, when she said it. I said, I haven't murdered no one. Oh, well, I'm sending, well, yeah. Police came, and I says, well, your sister says, and my mate says, he hasn't done anything wrong. But they still took me in. They still questioned me about it. He's died of natural causes. Go see. And I got let go with an apology. No charges as well, but says, okay, we do apologise. The coroner rung me up saying, look, we're going to do an autopsy. It says, it's on medical record that he didn't eat a lot. I said, no. Says, all right. So if it's through starvation, there could be an inquiry. I went, oh, okay, fair enough. Luckily for me and everybody else, when they opened him up, he had patches on his lungs. That's emphysema. He had emphysema. But the only reason why he couldn't eat, which I didn't know about, and no one else would know about, he had a tumour in his stomach. Cancer. So, no, that's why he couldn't eat. That's why he was starving himself. And yeah, and he would have died. And then we did get told on medical file, even if he'd have got, even if he'd have lived, he'd have been on dialysis. He had kidney failure as well. Oh God! But he was 75 years old. So there you go. And then my sister, she never apologised. She came to the funeral, making me pay for it. But she never chipped in or out like that. I thought she would with being her own father, but she never did. And that was it. He were gone. And she's never talked to me since. Of that side of family have never talked to me since either. So that's it. You know what I mean? So, all the family what I have what's still alive they don't want to know me for some reason. She'd have been spreading lies about me, evil woman. My own sister. But that's what it's like in my family, unfortunately. But then in 2000, and that happened in 2003. But I've been going on and on and on like that. Yeah, I've had other relationships, but none really. I won't call them significant or all like that. But 2013, me and my mate were out. We were introduced to see a friend, and we were coming back. Set off at 9 o'clock. We were coming back. Now, if you know the area of Wakefield, going off at down Dewsbury, Carry, you got what we call Mad Mile. It's more than a mile, by the way, but that's what they call it, Mad Mile. So you come up from Dewsbury onto Dual Carriageway, heading towards Wakefield, or you can turn off and go towards Lower Laves and down, over the bridge, down the hill, round the corner, up onto Batley Road. That's what we were doing. So we come across. So we took that turning round onto Lower Laves. It's called Old Mills Lane, by the way. But went down there, got to the motorway bridge, and two cars were side by side. I thought, oh God. Well, luckily, they were speeding. I thought, just take your time, Kevin, going down here, will you? He said, yeah, no problem. And we did. We didn't hammer it. We got round. Back then, we got round. We must have got, what, 50 yards up the hill? Smack. Straight into it. A black Corsa, what literally hit us straight on. And it was like that. It hit more on left hand side than it did on right, but head on collision, and that put me in hospital with 7 fractures. I've had a hip replacement through all that. Yet again, having mental health issues, now I had to cope with PTSD. After all that, I'm lucky to be alive, because when I was in hospital and they did all the operation, I couldn't control my gases, and that was it. And I felt euphoric. Into intensive into ICU. I must have been in there for a week, getting me oxygen levels, because I blew up like a Michelin man. I literally did, blown up all over. and they had to get it down. So that's what they had to do. So they did. They had to get me into oxygen and things like that, pure oxygen, feeding me all the time. And they did, and it all came. All the gases eventually came out, and then everything started going down straight away. And then I went. Then I could go back onto the wall. I went back onto the wall, drawing me drawing me and somebody else on there. An hour in agony, literal pain and that. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it just hit me. And I called nurse, and she says, "What's wrong?" I says, "I think I need to talk to someone about it. What's gone off?" And she says, "You feeling overwhelmed?" I says, "Yeah, I'll get a counsellor." And that's what she did. She got a counsellor, and I feel sorry for that counsellor to this day. So she says, "What's your problem?" And I just spewed it out. It took me about 30 minutes to tell her. And then when I relaxed, she went, "Oh, right, you wrote it all down." I says, "Yeah." And then somebody else came. Obviously, I was seeing different people. And I said, "Oh, right, so it's not the same one." She says, "She's busy." But she did come up that day. She said, the diagnosis is PTSD. I went, "Are you joking?" And she says, "No, you've got PTSD full on." Says, "Oh, you know, yeah, all right." And she says, "Yeah, I mean." Then I left hospital, but I was still having counselling, if you know what I mean. I left hospital, went to a rehabilitation centre up at Normanton in Wakefield. Went there, and rehabilitation centre, it's just the care home basically. But I was in there in a private room, and it were okay with that. It really was. And I had a physiotherapist who came, says, "I want to talk to you." I says, "Talk away." Says, "What can you and can't you do?" I says, "Not a lot." Yeah, I couldn't even move this leg, so she says, "Okay, we'll wait until what Pindy said." Put me into a brace where I could bend my knee, and then she started getting me up and trying to get me to walk. It took a long time to go from that off of crutches to walking. I was really wanting to get there, and I did in the end. It took 5 years, but I got there. The bones eventually healed, and I got there. You know what I mean? So there's all that. I've got pictures of car crash, which certain people have seen them. But I was told while I was in rehabilitation centre, I said, "Well, we know you're strong enough now to take this news, because you're on a record. Tell me when you think he's ready." And she says, "I just want to talk to you." And she pulled up a chair in the dining room, and we started chatting. And she made me a drink of tea and that. And she says, "So how do you feel missing by that you missed you missed a bullet?" And I thought, very overwhelmed. And I says, "I thought I was dead." You know what I mean? I thought I was going to die. And she says, "You nearly did." And then she went in to tell me they crashed you at least 4 times in theatre, twice going in ambulance to hospital. Says, "But you're here." I thought, all right. So I did near on, well, it was a near death experience, a near death thing. And she says, when she showed me no. I went, "Oh, okay. So why tell me now?" She says, "Because we think you were ready for it." And I thought, right. So from that day on being told that, yes, I nearly died, and I could have died either way, I thought, oof. And told Kevin that. And she came in and explained it. And Kevin went, "Wow." So, yeah, I know. It is overwhelming. To her things, you think, well, so really I should have been dead. I should have died that night, but I didn't. So I took it upon myself, thought, right, so I didn't die that night. Alright, I'm going to live each life day at a time. I'm just going to take it slow. And that's what I've been doing ever since. But unfortunately, I've got anxiety and things like that. PTSD, I have been told very recently, it only takes a trauma to set it off again. So there you go. But it says your PTSD, it hasn't gone, so don't think it has. I says, "What do you mean?" He says, "It's like that. You don't think you're safe. Once you forget about it, it's gone. Then you've got the anxiety to come." But I've been diagnosed with what all PTSD, anxiety, personality disorder, paranoia, things like that. I do get paranoid, and it's no thanks to Boris Johnson really. Through all of this lockdown caper, I'm glad I'm walking now, like obviously, but when it came to lockdown and things like that, I think nah, we didn't vote for this crap. We didn't vote for it at all. Lockdowns don't work. Simple as that. So I hope you can now. I hope you can now understand my mental health. I mean, I could have done it on a mental health journey, but I just wanted to put it out there, put a spotlight on domestic violence, because I know there's a lot going off about it. Yes, it's all about my childhood and my experiences, but that is the only way I can really tell it. I mean, I'm not an expert in these things. I'm just telling you what I've witnessed through my life. What I experienced with domestic violence, and I hope I hope you like it, and I hope people can get some kind of help if they need it and things like that. You know what I mean? So if you have liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you're new. Um, hit the bell. Hit all. That will let you know when I'm putting up another video. Please, 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 please share the video to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Bing, and share it with your friends and family, and comment below. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.